Scuderia fans left Imola with some regrets of what could have happened if they got over the mistakes they did as championship leaders. The team only collected 20 points at their home circuit, Enzo Dino Ferrari, 12 in the sprint, and 8 in a Grand Prix courtesy of a 6th place for Charles Leclerc, entering the competition in Italy on the top of the championship, and their scoring such a result was a true nightmare for the Scuderia fans. Especially that was the first time fans have been allowed to support their team closely since the COVID-19 restriction. The emotional connection between the team and this town would have made a win for Ferrari in their one of the most emotional victories in the team's history without doubts, and would accomplish the perfect beginning they had this season with their racing driver Charles Leclerc, who won 2 of the 3 opening rounds. So what are the real factors that led Ferrari to such a score? Would Leclerc forget his performance in Imola and the mistake he did on track and manage to keep his place on the top of the Drivers' Championship? Are Ferrari bringing some actual refreshing changes to their car for the Miami Grand Prix in the coming weeks? Stick around to know. But before that, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done it, check out our videos and tell us your opinion. Activate the bell to be notified of our new videos. So according to Palmer, the British motorsport commentator who's currently covering the Formula 1 World Championship on BBC Radio 5 during his Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix analysis, Leclerc hadn't to just manage Verstappen, but also to get over Sergio Perez, the Red Bull second driver who did the perfect job for his team all the whole weekend. Red Bull have been struggling to find a second driver capable to secure a 1-2 finish that the team couldn't achieve for 6 years. The battle between the two drivers in the P2 showed with Leclerc, who went as far as he could, avoiding the wet, Perez seizing the opportunity to pass over him, risking on the wet track with the slick tires. Red Bull was pushing hard with his two driver on Leclerc with Max Verstappen, who have been leader throughout the race. The Red Bull team covered it off very well and has an advantage, Leclerc coming out behind the McLaren's driver Norris, trying desperately to pass over and get a second place. Leclerc did a quite big mistake for the championship leader. Mattia Binotto said after the race, "We thought that was the best opportunity for us to try and catch Perez. There were no regrets over the strategy. It was definitely the right call. This result had nothing to do with the pressure. It was a case of a home race." Added Binotto, "We did our best to mitigate the pressure." Leclerc said it was much more of a mental thing. He apologized to all his team and fans, saying, "I'm sorry to all of you guys. We learn from this and be stronger next time." Reading for the Formula 1's first visit to the newly built Miami International Autodrome in the coming weeks, Red Bull are continuing their upgrades while Ferrari will unveil a new rear wing in Miami, designed to reduce drag and thus gain aerodynamically efficiency, as stated by Corriere della Sera, the Italian newspaper. This new Ferrari rear wing will give benefit to the team on the particular Red Bull advantage. According to the same report, Ferrari will also bring adjustment to the underbody of the F175 in a bid to address the bouncing which it has been prone to. Ferrari team principal Mattia Binotto commented about this, "Because that's where we lose something in performance and we need to keep working on it." Now Red Bull is the first Constructors' Championship with only 11 points from Ferrari, while Verstappen is up to P2 in the drivers' standing, only 27 points behind Leclerc. For much more of the campaign, whenever Red Bull and Ferrari have been close together on the track, especially in the battle between Verstappen and Leclerc, Red Bull was looking like the team with a faster package in the straight line. It was clear that the Austrian team's efforts to trim weight from the RB18 had paid off. Corriere della Sera also reported that the RB18's weight loss allowed Verstappen and Perez to be kinder on their tires, which combined with other small aerodynamically upgrades to the car's underbodies allowed for more aggressive setups. Binotto considered that these are just few new parts on the car and none of a major update. In a virtual press conference quoted by Mondo Deportivo, Binotto said, "No, we won't have a big evolution, but we will have some new parts on the car, because Miami is a high-speed circuit in terms of a downforce. It is quite different as it requires less aerodynamic grip. We will adapt our car in terms of the downforce level of the circuit and continue to work to prevent porpoising, which is still quite visible, certainly more so than Red Bull, and there is still potential performance there that we have to try to achieve." Binotto admitted that they're still suffering from the porpoising problem and has also suggested that the team will continue to make tweaks to iron out of them. "We're still working on the porpoising. That, as you can see, is quite visible," he said. "They've got it certainly more than Red Bull, and in there's some performance potential as well that we need to try to get." Guys, if you like the video so far, consider liking it and commenting below telling us about what you think of Ferrari's decision. The Miami International Autodrome has been laid out around the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, features 19 corners over 5.41 km. However, the spectacular street circuit also includes several long straight. This nature of the circuit will force team to run in a lower downforce specs, with there being a big emphasis on top speed on the straight. The Swiss engineer said about that, because Miami is a high-speed circuit compared to the ones we had so far. In terms of downforce, we will run something different compared to what we have. Hopefully the level of downforce we bring to Miami, we're quite confident it's quite an efficient one. But we know as well that Red Bull has got a good medium-low downforce package as well, and they will be competitive. It will be a completely new track and new challenge. Quite interesting, and I'm pretty curious to be there. The Prancing Horse team principal talked also about the technical side in this season so far and convergent characteristic between his team and Red Bull. Binotto stated, if I look at Jeddah, certainly they were a lot faster. If I look at Bahrain, the DRS effect was certainly powerful, and the way they were catching on us, the straight was significant. But then if I look at Australia, I think that they put on some downforce, and the speed was very similar between the two cars. If you look at the rear wings they've got, certainly they increase the level of downforce, and I think when running on similar wings, we are pretty close on the speed as well. So I don't think there is a big difference in there. We know that we can improve our wings in order to make them more efficient, but I'm not expecting it to be an issue for certain circuits. We as Ferrari certainly will have new wings for medium-low downforce at the next races when necessary, and then it's only a matter of compromise. And the compromise on what we believe is best in terms of not only qualifying lap time but race pace and tire degradation. There have been races where I think our choice was the right one, maybe in Jeddah or just for, let me say, for a few laps. There turned out to be the right one, but that I think is great. The fact that we may have different solution, different setup choices makes only the race more spectacular. Alongside these changes, the Ferrari team needs in Miami from their drivers to improve their performance, especially Sainz. Carlos Sainz has actually a positive start this season, with a second place finish at the Bahrain International Circuit and a P3 finish in Saudi Arabia. Fortunately, things started to go wrong for Carlos on lap 2 of the Australian Grand Prix with the incident when he retired due to the crash, and that was followed by another error in the qualifying session at Imola, which we saw him spin into the wall. Carlos Sainz was then eliminated on the opening lap in the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix after being hit by Daniel Ricciardo's McLaren, and that was another race without scoring any points. Confirmed in an interview after the Imola sprint race that he's still not 100% happy behind the wheel of the 2022 Specs Ferrari. I'm glad I look from the outside comfortable. On the inside, it's not comfortable yet. I'm still not as smooth as I'd like to be, and mistakes like in qualifying prove that I'm still not 100% happy with the car and understanding it fully, but I'm hustling out there. I'm trying my best to get it up to my liking to change my driving, and mistakes are going to come when you're challenging yourself like that. Despite all this, the Spanish driver is confident that he can be as fast as anyone once he will manage to adjust his driving still and get to grips with his F175 car, admitting that he still faced some difficulties when driving the Maranello team's 2022 Challenger. Carlos Sainz has recently extended his contract with the Scuderia until the end of the 2024. Formula 1 campaign has now a gap of 48 points to his teammate Charles Leclerc. The driver standing ahead of the Miami Grand Prix needs now to find a real solution to get over the problems he's facing with the car. Being asked about this, he admitted there were no magic weapon that can help him become comfortable with the F175 car, fully take advantage of its real potential. You have to do something from your side as a driver, and I'm having to do techniques and driving that I'm not used to doing in order to be fast with the car. And at the same time, I need some testing and I need some free practices to try things and bring it more to my liking. And for that, I need FP1s and FP2s. Between the need to adapt his driving or the team should help bring the car more toward his liking, Sainz thinks it's a combination of both. The Scuderia's Spanish driver promised his fans saying, "As soon as I find the balance that I like and the combination with my driving, I know I can be as fast as anyone out there." That was it for today's video, guys. Catch us in the next one for more Formula 1 news. See you next time.